Now, returning you to the children of Primus.
And welcome.
Get this up so I can see all your smiling faces.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
We hear you.
Okay.
So another Frenzy Freestyle Sunday with the Children of Primus. Mr. Magnus, Toy Warp Vintage Reviews on YouTube, and myself, Spin. How's everyone doing?
Wore out.
You would be after that.
It was a good wore out, though. It was a real good wore out. We had a good time this weekend.
Nice. And Toy Warp, what say you?
Oh, unfortunately, I had to work most of the weekend, so nothing interesting here to report. Sorry.
Oh, us adults.
Yeah, right. By the way, I did my whole, free trial of adulting. Yeah, I'd like to cancel my subscription, please.
Okay. Somehow the subscription keeps going up every year. It's one of those things.
Inflation.
Well, I'd say on that note, for this stream, as just like yourself, work has just been all over the place. So we just kind of created our topics for the weekend. So it's just gonna be like news updates, and then for TeleTraan 2 segment, we will have some reveals, or actually, sorry, some news.
I have a reveal.
Oh, all right.
Okay, so dun dun dun. I know, looks kind of familiar, doesn't it? Because I revealed it 2 weeks ago, but that is the second one.
Nice.
The one that I bought in the lot with all the other slot car stuff wasn't complete. But then I found another one that wasn't complete, but it had everything that mine needed. So now this one's complete. This is the original one I got, and I put everything in this one because it's the better box.
Mm-hmm.
And this one now, with all its spare parts, I get to put it probably on eBay and probably make my money back for what I got it for. So I completed my set basically for free.
Nice. Oh, that's very cool. And what kind of history could you say on what kind of history could you say on that racetrack?
It was made in 1994, the same year the show came out. Tyco had exclusive rights to it. The cars are really cool because one is the Dodge Stealth that the Viper chased in the first episode.
Nice.
And then, of course, the Viper in police mode. And when it runs on the track, it's actually got a red light like the car does on the show.
Oh, that's so cool.
Pops out the windshield. And that's why these little guys are stupid expensive, because that little light.
Actually, show the bottom of it, because I've not played with one of those in 30, 40 years.
Yeah, tell me about it. It was when I started buying slot car sets again, it really brought back a lot of memories.
Nice.
The ones I collect now, though, I stick strictly to the 80s and 90s Tyco sets because all the tracks interchangeable. It never changed, so it's just real easy to do. You know what I mean? I can pull, like, when I bought this set for parts, I could pull the track that I needed out of it and didn't have to worry about, stuff matching up or not.
Okay.
It all matches, from like 80 to 2000, it all matches.
Nice.
The TV show's pretty interesting because while they did use real Dodge Viper bodies in the show, they were powered by Chrysler 360s and not the Viper V10.
Interesting.
Not even the Hero car had the V10 in it. That motor was so expensive back in the early 90s when that show came out.
Right. Wow. It's funny. It just reminds me of generally in like all the Dukes Fest and everything, and they're using what is it, the Crown Vics for to replace the Dodge Chargers, or they're rebuilding the Chargers with Crown Vics.
No, it's they're using Crown Vic
Or
chassis, interiors, and engines and drivetrain and stuff like that. They just rebody it as a
a
Charger because you can
right.
buy, the entire body now off of like Year One or multiple other sites.
Okay.
So when they jump them, they're not jumping $100,000 Dodge Charger. You
Right.
wouldn't think that the General Lee of all the TV cars would end up being the most expensive one, but Chargers are stupid money.
Mm-hmm. That is cool. And we got Impactor hiding in here, and we also have some cats hiding in here from Cats versus Gators.
Can we stop it with that already?
Well, it all depends where you're from, because some states seem to be attracted to cats, and some have gators. Gators.
Talk about my neighborhood. We have groundhogs and giant furry cats.
Oh, we got groundhogs too.
We got
Whenever I see
groundhogs
them
here,
out my
little
window, it's
eat
like,
cats.
Oh, it's a fat, furry little
What
kitty
about
bastard, or
groundhogs that
B-word,
like to
B-word.
tunnel through your yard and almost cause a sinkhole?
Well, my
Because I've already had to
neighbor's
deal with that.
garage
The
floor
groundhog we
is
had here died of
non-existent.
lead poisoning.
Oh,
You wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
I may have been the cause of that. Yeah, he was digging under my porch. That wasn't going to fly.
All right.
wow.
But we tried to deter him for 2 weeks, and then finally I was like, nope, he just keeps on going. So yeah.
We saw nothing. We saw and heard nothing. As Mario says, "Hello, people from the Children of Primus." Hello, Mario. Once again, welcome.
Going on, Mario.
He is asking, so what reveals and updates will be revealed on the stream with
Well, I can say one thing first.
more question marks? Mm-hmm.
The first thing is that on Big Bad Toy Store right now, the entire Devastator set is out and available finally. So we
That was
have
quick.
both Bone Crusher Scrapper and the 2-pack,
Nice.
in which I'm going to be purchasing once I get my next paycheck.
Crusher, Scrapper, and a 2-pack. There's 6 Constructicons, right?
Well, yes, not Scrapper, Scavenger and Mixmaster haven't been released yet. They were just announced not even like a month ago now.
Oh, so not the entire Devastator. Okay.
Well, not the entire Devastator set, but getting the 2-pack, if anything, is one of the main things you need to get before you get the 2 others, since it's the most expensive one.
We're talking about everything that has been released to date is available. Because words, boy. Words.
Also, for at least some news in my area, my entire background has now completely changed. I'm now filling in my shelves with my Transformers.
Oh,
So yeah, we now got these guys all chilling here.
Yay, organization!
And then
You're
the
a real
Raptors are
adult
chilling
now,
over here.
unlike me. Whoop agrees.
And I'm also working on right now I'm trying to post some of my YouTube videos so I can show you guys in stream, because from what I've watched back, I think it's time I start posting the videos ahead of stream, so I can then show it way easily.
got it.
Yeah, that
So,
worked out.
Impactor, what do you do, since you got so many open Transformers there on your shelf, what do you do for dust control?
Mm.
They're all played with every day, so basically dust does not accumulate.
Gotcha, okay.
Hey, I could see in some circles that conversation like, no, we just keep them in boxes, which then therefore wouldn't they also be dust control?
Yep.
Dust
You'll
will
have to
wreak
wet
havoc on cardboard.
You ain't said nothing, especially that clear plastic that's on the older ones.
Mm.
Yeah, it'll actually turn like a gum on there. It's rough to get off if you don't get it off while it's still frothy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Interesting.
That's why I keep mine encased in glass.
There you
Which I'm hoping by next week I'll have another big case. So
go. Nice.
I'm going to figure out what the heck to do with this one. I don't want to get rid of it because that's the one I actually got from KB Toys. But yeah, I should have another tall case. I've got $2,000 worth of that Transformer tie-in stuff, and I can't display none of it. So I, it's all in boxes in the closet. So I gotta buy a whole other case to display it.
Well, I mean, if you put it on a marketplace or in different groups, would someone buy that case for, say, their collection, or even if not Transformers, but just as a display case for whatever they need it for?
Yeah, they probably would, but I don't want to get rid of it.
Yeah, it has
I work,
sentimental
I work,
value.
I worked for KBI, sentimental value. I worked for KB Toys for 6 years. Seasonally, I went through every manager that my location had. Even worked at another location while I was working at my original location. They were training me for manager because the vice president would come down, once a year, make a tour of the area toy stores, and he never really wanted to talk to anybody, but me and him talked a lot because we were both Corvette guys. So we'd sit there and he wasn't even doing his job. I wasn't doing my job. We'd just sit there and talk about Corvettes all day.
Nice.
And he come down after they announced that they were gonna shut down January 1st, 2005. And he goes, "Man, I am so sorry. There was just nothing I could do. I didn't know they were going to train you for manager and everything, So, all these cases that you've been wanting, we need them out of here anyway. Just take them with you." I'm like, sweet. I had my El Camino at the time. I could only fit one in the back of my El Camino, right? You don't make fun of my mullet mobile. So I took 2 of them home, and when I got back, the other workers were already cleaning out the area where the cases were sitting, and they threw them all in the dumpster.
Oh,
I was like, "Do you realize you just threw away thousands of dollars?"
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they didn't even care. They just wanted it cleared out, and it just it broke my heart. I probably could have had 10 more cases like these.
wow.
But
Yeah, I know. Like, there's a
Corporations like
big
that are funny
KB.
about their stuff that come out of their places. We redid the gosh, I can't think of what the name of it. It's a big theater complex here in Evansville, and it's a chain. It's all over the United
AMP,
States.
Regal.
That's it. AMP. They when they did that, when we redid the theaters, they redid all the speakers and all the sound systems in it. And I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get a few of these and put them in my garage for my stereo system."
Yeah.
And they were like, "No, you're not. We have to have video proof of them being destroyed as you put them in the dumpster." And I was like,
Wow.
"Really?" And they're like, yeah, we have to have they have to be destroyed going in. So as we did the first half of these, it's just breaking my heart. I mean, these are nice. These are nice speaker systems, PVs, and we're taking them out there, and there's nothing wrong with them. And we're taking a 16-pound sledgehammer. First shot goes right through the cone and then destroy the cabinet.
That's corporations
We
for
did
you.
we did the first half of them that way. And then the second half, we got a new project manager out there, and he was like, "Oh no, y'all can have as many of them as you want." He said, "We don't care if they're." And so the sound system that is in my garage,
Nice.
in my barn, is a theatrical surround system, including the great big sub that sits behind the screen.
Nice.
Is in my barn.
I can't wait to hear that.
Oh, it's wicked, dude. It's why I had to buy a 2,000-watt amp just to push it.
Nice.
Jeez.
Oh, Tor Warp. I was gonna say it says I can appreciate those how you work for KBs now even better. I would have been 18 in 01, so but all through the 90s and into the mid 2000s before they closed, I had my main gaming guy with KB Toys and my main action figure guy with KB Toys. And like years later, after like I think when I was living in Richmond, Virginia in 2018, I bumped into my old action figure guy, and he was working for GameStop at the time. But like when I was a kid, he's like my big. Both of those 2 guys were like my big brothers when I was in middle and high school and elementary school. And he would even be like, let me know, "Hey, Steven, that next wave of Spawn figures or Transformer figures, or X-Men figures are
Nice.
coming out next week, and we'll be putting them on the floor this day. So if you want to get here, the day we're putting them out." or if you know, hey, you might like this video game with the video game guy. He would let me know about video games I would like. I remember he got me onto Final Fantasy Tactics on PS1. That's like one of my favorite. Like it's one of the few video games that you know how a lot of the eternal clock for a lot of video games go not up to 990, 99, 99, 99. That's one of the only two games I've ever done that with multiple times. Max out the clock. And I got into that, and might not gotten into that game if not for my gaming guy at KB Toys when I was a kid.
That job was more fun than what I should have been. It was technically robbing them how much fun I had with that job. Because
Yeah,
there wasn't hardly any
company,
work
just
to it. I mean,
from
the
what I
most
saw
work
as
was
a
unloading the
customer
truck.
and how I saw like, and then there was a manager at a really big, since you mentioned the cabinets, and I remember I think for their gaming section, and this was like a dedicated KB store in a big like almost grocery size, whereas the other two were my action figure guy and my video games guys. They were just little KBs, a little hole in the wall in the malls. But like my big KB guy, store manager, he was I think he was like my neighbor for a while even. Before and after the the big KBs and the little ones that all closed. And I mean he was always remembered me, even let me know about, he kept up with like toy info and releases and video games, and if he saw me like mowing my dad's yard or something, he was like, hey Steven, you still like this or that? Oh, this stuff's going to be coming out, yada yada, days. So I'd always was impressed by their staff, from management to the newest, young guy.
In '96, when those aluminum scooter things first come out, what's the name of them? Razors. The
Yes.
Razor scooters. So the toy store, obviously, laminated floor, super smooth, right? Me and a buddy, after hours, are riding around the store at just unsafe velocities. Okay.
I don't know anything about that.
So I go.
Except that
There was a
metal
big metal bin full of Hot Wheels cars, in the package, sitting close to the front door. And I zigged when I should have zagged one time going around that thing. And I hit that thing. The thing exploded. I went head over heels over the handlebar of the razor, landed inside the thing as it's still moving. And because I landed inside of it, the thing just came apart. So sliding down onto the floor was like the sides of the bin and Hot Wheels cars, and my brain and skull going two different directions. Yeah, good times.
Yeah, you did a poor
So
man's
was
Uncle
that-
Scrooge diving into
Concerning.
the
Children of
that-
Primus does not endorse this.
Was that in the late 80s, early 90s that you worked at KB?
No, it was late '90s, early 2000s.
Well, in the late 80s, early 90s, two of my best friends, the guy that's going to be my best man at the wedding and the guy that's going to be running security at the wedding, they both worked at KB's toy stores in Owensboro.
Okay.
And they said that it was in their early high school years because they were just barely driving. So I'm trying to do math in my head. So it's late 80s, early 90s time. Because they're a few years younger than I am. Well, when they worked there, the funniest story that Jamie has ever told me was for Halloween one year, they got a life-size cardboard thing of Boris Karloff as Dracula for Halloween to put up there for their costume section. Well, after Halloween, Jamie had just taken it and set it in the back room. The district manager come in one night and turned on the light, and there was Boris Karloff. And they had to call an ambulance.
Oh,
He couldn't get it. His heart skipped a beat, and he was in AFib trying to catch his breath. And Jamie was like, it wasn't nothing intentional. We just got it off the floor because it wasn't Halloween anymore. And he went back to the back storage, and when he opened the door and clicked on the light, there was,
Talking about monsters that aren't supposed to be alive, scaring people.
those are the best. So Magnus, actually, you shared this image. What
Okay,
is
so
this image?
this is a pre-order. when I was a kid, there was a thing called Zoids,
Yes.
and it was
Aw.
from the Diaclone branch. And Transformers is evidently doing a thing with Zoids, and we have a Zoid Optimus Prime now.
Give me a
Interesting.
Zoid Impactor and I'll do it. I'll buy it.
That is
Heck,
Mr.
is wanting a new
Magnus, do you
Transformer.
know what the
Man, we are
red
full
kind
of
of the
surprises, aren't we?
burgundy Raptor was called from Zoids? I used to have one of those as a kid.
Hey, potato.
Yeah, I had Zoids because I didn't know then. I know now, but Zoids are a part of Diaclone. The little guys that fit in the Zoids would fit in the cockpits and stuff of Transformers because Transformers were Diaclones
right.
and Zoids were part of Diaclones. And so the pilots could fit in the different Transformers you had as well.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the image with the little pilot in this Optimus Zoid.
Yeah.
Cool.
Red, what is it? The red top or blue top, and then the opposite color bottom reminds me of Slam Dance and whatever the red and blue dinosaur video. I mean tape set combiner was that Blaster also had.
Right.
I didn't notice that until I think yesterday or this morning. I saw the pictures of the pilot, and I was like, "Oh, a little slam dance in human form."
So cray. Why are
Tato
you so
must be
cray?
Tato must be messing with her daddy.
Twelver's having a situation.
I hear a bark.
What is your
So,
deal?
who wants to see some of the stop motions I've now recently made?
Yes.
Let me pull
And
the
just
picture.
before you show them, Mario's asking what updates we have for the future of the channel. Well, we will mention that along the way and also in the next stream. And also saying waiting for someone else to join in the chat. And I think maybe everyone's sleeping since the temperature has suddenly become so hot as it's getting hot for us over here too.
We hit 103 today.
Yes.
What?
We had like 100
Yeah.
something.
Dude, and there was no wind. I mean, you just stepped outside, it was like stepping into an oven. It was hot.
Core Warp, you
hot.
might know that
We were blessed enough to have clouds today, and a bit of wind.
Yep.
We hit
103 for
95.
you is 39 for us, so we were averaging around that temperature
So
too.
what's that in freedom units?
Freedom units, 39.4444.
Freedom unit? ID Filtering was a freedom unit.
Hey, Toy Warp, you know how hot it is where your son is up in New York?
I have no idea.
I know Tanuki, I asked because I know Tanuki's, he's up there in New York right now, streaming with two twins streamers that live up there. She's enjoying it so far. I don't think she might have not been to New York before. I know she might have went to Detroit, I think when she went to college in Toronto, and she would go to whatever would be close by, south of the border. But between the weather, the heat wave, and a certain person, she kind of picked the wrong week to come.
So
Well,
you guys going through a heat wave.
Yeah, I mean it's
Speaking of Heat Wave is now available. Not Legacy. Age of the Primes Heat Wave is now available, in which I'm going to get sooner or later.
Hold on, let's just go over to Toy Warp for a second as we see a live.
Puppy baby. Puppy baby.
Why are you so cray tonight? Oh my goodness.
And
Hit him! Sick him! Kill!
Kill!
Go for blood!
Sick him!
Go for blood!
Ladies and gentlemen, during the TeleTraan 1 segment, we don't endorse dogs attacking Florida mans.
That's the
No,
Florida man.
We always endorse dogs attacking Florida man. Not to death, just attack.
Just attack. You know,
she's attacking him out of affection.
that's
Out
it.
of a place of love.
That's right. Those are
It's like
those are
whooping your
love
kid's
fights.
ass so they know not to do stupid crap.
Hey, that dog didn't break the skin. He absolutely loves you.
Yep.
That's right. He was just holding you. He's just holding you tightly.
There you go.
She's making sure you got your daily exercise. So So if Florida gets nuked by a certain country, you'll be able to run like the Flash in time to out
Yeah.
of the bomb
No,
fallout.
I would stay and shoot the nuke like we do hurricanes.
We'll save that for TeleTraan too. That's a whole
How do you shoot
separate
a
Oh yeah,
topic.
I'm
we
nuke?
could
trying to
we could
beat
do a
around the
whole
bush as
story
much as
on Florida
possible.
hurricane parties. My sister's been telling me all about them.
You know, which is funny
Okay.
because they're like, well, there's only certain things you can say on streams and YouTube and social media. But I'm like, well, but it's a Transformers channel, a channel about robots that, attack each other and fire at each other. Like,
But
so
Transformers is also about war, both
exactly.
official and undeclared and declared.
There's war and politics in Transformers, even when you try to get away from it. Let's go over to Impactor. So, what do you have up for us
He's
this
only
week?
dropped 9.
Okay. So for the first stop motion here, this is a weapons test that I created.
Sit down there. I'm gonna do
Going
that
right
for
with the
you.
theme, aren't we?
I know.
So
Oh,
this is the
Actor
video.
shows violence.
wow.
Ooh.
Vaporization.
Just leave this to the stop motion animations and not real life at your school.
I'm also at 319 subscribers finally.
Nice. Well, you know what? With that scene that you just did, I would say think of Galvatron and Starscream.
Oh my goodness, you are so right. I need to get Galvatron then.
Hey, Impactor, sometime, maybe after tonight's stream, look up Gundam Bright Slaps. Spin knows what I'm talking about. And you gotta do it where two versions of it. One where Alpha Trion slaps Optimus Prime, and Megatron's like, oh my god! And then the opposite where instead of Alpha Trion slapping, it would be Megatron is slapping Megatron, and then Optimus Prime is like the girl being like, oh my gosh! But yeah, the setup is Bright's like the ship captain. Amuro Ray, who's the original Gundam pilot, doesn't want to fight, and Amuro's like, "Dude, we're all gonna get killed if you don't get your ass out there and fight." Slaps him twice, and Amuro's like, "Dude, not even my dad's hit me once before, much less twice." And the girl's like, and then there's this animation where he's like, "I have only one regret. It's not the first slap, it's not the second slap," and then at the end he says, "I didn't slap him a third time. That's a regret."
Okay.
All
Here's
right.
this is
So
the
I want you to do
that right there.
animation with Transformers.
So this video is what I first created, and then the other video, which I first showed, basically was the test idea. But this is what I created.
What was that? My fault.
Wow.
Oh, hey, convenient, your channel. Oh wait, no. Perfect. So yeah, that was that entire one that I created.
Nice.
Nice.
And then this is the big one that I actually was working on. It was kind of the reason why I was a little bit late.
That was crazy.
Where's P-127?
Sorry I'm late. Hit a little traffic. Optimus.
Decepticons. Attack! Autobots, fall back! Get to the tower!
Destroy the monster. Let none escape. Cybertron has fallen. Get to the escape pods. There are other Autobots scattered across the galaxy. We must reach them if we hope to survive. Optimus, this is our world. We have to fight for it. We will fight on, but we must find refuge first. I found a planet that's well hidden. Earth. You will travel there and establish a base for us. Once we've gathered the others, we'll join you. You must protect the planet. If the Decepticons find it, then our people are truly finished. Now go. Good luck, soldier. I'll buy you some time.
That was all I was able to get done.
Good morning, sleepyheads.
Ah, stop!
Good morning,
How
sleepyhead.
long is that all? What? How long was that all together? I didn't get to catch it before it changed.
That in total, the entire sequence and scene. So, going back maybe
2 or
3
3
months
minutes and
long.
17 seconds.
2
No,
minutes
one
and
time.
let me just go to the video itself. 2 minutes and 17 seconds.
Okay, so
Also, well, I got Spin needs to like share the screen one more time because there's a little Easter egg that I placed in the scene.
Optimus.
So now it may be hard to see, but the entire talk is that Megatron was actually in the Bumblebee movie. So just to point out a little Easter egg, I gave Soundwave here Megatron in his gun mode.
Nice.
Just to pull out an Easter egg.
Yeah.
Also, one other thing after you stop sharing my screen, well, the screen.
pure cinema. Pure
This was
cinema.
This is G1 Leadfoot. How
Yeah, that's a
the
nice
heck
deco
did
of
we
that
evolve
mold.
into this?
Uh,
I'm confused.
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay.
Two
Michael Bay
words.
saw that
Michael
Transformer.
Bay.
It's like, I'm gonna give it plastic surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Though still, it's kind of crazy. But yeah, those are the 3 stop motions I've created now. The first 2 I showed were the ones that, well, did last night and a bit of today. And then the Bumblebee movie film scene, I've been working consecutive, I can't even say the word, but I've been working on like months on end.
Yeah,
And tomorrow
I remember
I'll be
like the
finishing it.
earlier like times you showed just much smaller bits of it
Mm-hmm.
prior.
And now it's almost finished, basically. I just need 30 more seconds of film, and that's it. Also, I need to like turn on that light.
Now, Mario is tying into what Impactor said, and he said, speaking of what Impactor said about the Studio Series 86 Constructicons, like completed, there's another fan stream that is going, the next wave of Studio Series that was leaked and had been teased and revealed by Takara.
Ooh.
On that same note, I just shared a page with you in private chat there. So the DK upgrades are already coming out for it. They're
Upgrades
on
for what?
for the Studio Series Constructicons.
Wow.
Ooh. I might actually have to just buy them myself because I'm
And
looking
they
forward to
have the
trying to get
horns.
stuff.
I just noticed.
Oh my goodness!
Oh.
How many
Oh,
horns?
yeah,
How
I
many
saw
horns?
that.
Because I'm more than willing to buy that thing multiple times just so I can get them.
This set is just for Scrapper and Bone Crusher.
Okay, then I'm maybe
So
So, well, it's what?
there'll probably be a 2-pack set for each one of them. There'll be a 2-pack DK upgrade for Hook and Long Haul, and then there'll be a 2-pack upgrade for Mixmaster and Scrapper.
And
Okay.
here I
Too
thought I was
bad,
gonna have
'cause what is it?
Scavenger, I
everything
mean,
on
It's
Scavenger.
fill-in kits for both, and then trumpets for both of them. Is there anything besides just the trumpets and the hollow bit fill-ins? But I mean, there's a
Nope,
lot
that's
of
it.
times where this one upgrade by itself will be like around 10 before shipping. So you
Just
got one,
also-
2, 3, 4 upgrades for like less than 40.
Just
or
to
shipping.
also go off of that
It's not
entire
too
scene,
bad, actually.
the only character, like, if I were to, let's just say, go super, well, wanting to make the scene accurate, the only characters I'm missing to recreate Coronation Starscream's death is, well, Galvatron and the Coneheads, and if I decide to just add the error of Thundercracker being there. Like, that'd be pretty much it, and I could recreate the entire scene.
You know,
Also,
when you recreate the scene, you have to make as Starscream is getting shot by Galvatron, you have to make Ramjet just jump off in the background. It's like people overlook that little detail in the back where he just
yeah,
jumps.
I actually will have to do that. And also, so just to go off some of the things I did not realize, I accidentally realized, well, that I did in my collection here.
Wait, say that sentence again?
Something that I realized that I did not mean to do in this entire thing here is that I gave Thundertron here the I forget what the heck her name was, but I then have Soundwave here just with Laserbeak on his shoulder also, so they're both like correlating to each other with the same bird, except bat. Bat and bird. I don't know what I'm saying now. Then
Good,
all three of
continue
the like I just have everybody chilling here, especially some of the random bots riding Skylinks. But yeah, this area right here, so after just, well, school supplies removed, now basically I can fill this in and put more bots down there. The hope is that I can have it all finished by, well, pretty much tomorrow, because to just also add some fun stuff, each Monday, if I'm correct, it's each Monday, I'm not fully sure, but it might be each Monday that I hop on to a school. Well, it's not exactly school, basically. It's an school. It's called Outschool program. There is a teacher, actually, who hosts an entire Transformers group for us students, basically, to hop on. There's no school-related talk, but it's all Transformer share. So,
Really?
I'll be having So, I'll be now having another Transformers group to hang out with. Except it's unfortunately only for an hour.
And an hour is better than nothing. But it'd be interesting to find out more about that group.
Yeah, I'm excited. My mom signed me up for it.
Nice.
So yeah, it'll be exciting to have all this stuff be shared.
You think you got the biggest collection in the group?
Possibly because the teacher. So let's just say go off this. The teacher has like 200 Transformers in his collection.
Mm-hmm.
There is at least 300 Transformers here. 300 or 400. Also,
look on Magnus's face.
It's huge. Everybody's got to start somewhere.
Also,
Yeah,
let's just
That's probably what I had at his age.
You know,
Mr. Magnus,
let's just talk about the center cabinet.
A petty amount.
Let's just talk about the center cabinet.
That's a lot. I already can tell. But also, just to go off this, I still have to unload this entire bin.
Impactor, do you know what my numbers are?
1,000, maybe 500 even.
3,200.
Oh.
Okay. I think we could all hand it over to Magnus here that he has the largest collection in stream, and then Toy Rope has the largest G1 collection in stream.
I don't have the biggest one. We've had the Australian biggest one.
I saw that
Australia?
one. I saw the stream.
Yes, big angry Trev, which he's going to be with us July 6th.
Oh, awesome. The Trevinator or something like that. Trevolution. The Trevolution.
Yep.
Trevolutionaries. That's what it was. You got to become a Trevolutionary.
That's it. Well, it's funny because I'm thinking, I wonder if there's any debates in any groups or anything in terms of people competing with collection size. Because, just as you're all saying at his age, at least 200 is about the most we had. I mean, really, because there was only G1. So if you were fortunate to...
At his age, he's got way more than I had at that age. I think I had 6.
Wow. I think... And it's only because a friend of mine in high school, he grew out of his toys. So he sold me like a bunch of his Transformers and whatever else I was good. So I think the maximum I had would probably about 200, but then that's if you're kind of counting combiners and stuff, really. But again, compare that to now where there's like multiples and multiples of variations and lines and remakes, and so it's drastically different where someone can have 3200 transformers.
When I start out for Transformers, like I had a bunch of hand downs from like not Second and Charles and Salvation Army. Surprisingly, my aunt knows where to find the Transformers complete. She was lucky enough to actually get me almost every figure from all those places complete together. Surprisingly, if I had to be honest, there's only 2 that I got from that childhood time incomplete, like missing a missile or a like side piece. But like my main collection I had at least 12, and then right when I became 9 to 10, I just engrossed in knowledge for Transformer stuff, and well, we can tell what happened.
This
Well,
is a
actually,
even
statement.
oh, sorry, go ahead, Torward.
even with all this and the cases and everything, not counting duplicates, I think I've only got like 139.
Oh, wow. Well, I was just gonna throw it over to you, because I know in terms of you collecting the figures, but I know you search more for what's in box. A lot of times in groups, like as Impactor said, people will find like in the Salvation Armies and the Goodwills, but there'll be pictures where there's just like they've just found like a bin or a garage sale of $25 of like a ton of stuff, and I'm like, you got all that for $25? That's like
Oh, you should talk
like
about
the
my stuff.
entire season 1, season 2, like, and they're the originals. They're not
They ain't the knockoffs.
yeah, they're not the knock.
I picked up.
To talk about crazy stuff.
Hold on, it's still Towards
Oh,
Towards
sorry.
turn.
I was trying to mention something.
I picked up a boxed Voltron set with the Matchbox Voltron set. Perceptor, Slag. Slag is sealed.
Oh,
Ooh, that means he's rare.
I don't remember what else I picked up, but I picked it all up. Oh, it's the comics. I picked some other stuff up, all for $125 at a garage, $125 at a garage sale.
wow.
Dang.
Yeah. The guy offered me his He-Man stuff, and he had a bunch of He-Man stuff, and I still kicking myself that I, turned it down.
Hmm.
Still kicking myself for that one because I mean, I wasn't personally into He-Man, but to turn around and sell that stuff at today's market prices and pay for more Transformers would have been my jam.
You know what? I probably would have the exact same thing. 'Cause I mean, like I watched it, but I was never into He-Man, so I probably would have done the exact same thing. And then looking back at it now, I'd be like, should I held on to that?
Also, to mention off G1 stuff and thrift stores, a few thrifts, so like I have a few connections around my area basically, that there are a few thrift stores and a few Transformer collectors around me. Most of us are in our teens basically. 2 of my friends went down to a thrift store, and I don't even remember the name, but they went inside there. Maybe it was the size of maybe I don't even know, apartment complex. They go into this place, they search around, and lo and behold, so inside the glass cases, they have a whole bunch of G1 like individual parts of the combiners, and I'm not referring to like parts and stuff. I'm referring to limbs and with their parts, and G1 autobots and other guys, all original, and they were all going for like the little guys. From what they showed me in the pictures, they were going for like maybe $1.35. Like from what I recall from the pictures, there was a full set of Computron, Defensor, Devastator, and Menasor, and then they had Optimus, Powerglide. They had a whole bunch, and my friends picked up all the combiners.
Nice.
And later on, since then they have now sold those sets, and they made huge profit off of them, close to maybe $250 for each combiner that was fully complete. It was original. They were lucky.
Now, I don't know if y'all remember this or not, but
Abominus.
Abominus.
This guy came from Goodwill.
Children of Primus.
Wait, you got that from Goodwill?
He was in a box, and they were in their alt forms, and it said box of robot dinosaurs, $5.
Wow.
Ooh, damn.
So I showed that one. Now keep me on here, Spin.
Mhm.
So same Goodwill.
What?
This is a 100% complete Unicron, and I'm going to try and turn him around because I left his tag on him. It probably won't show it, but it says $5. So it's got his minicon, it's got his chest piece, it's got the other shield,
I'm
but
jealous at this point.
it's got all of his missiles. Yeah, this was 5. This was 5.
Wow.
Okay,
Magnus,
so
the big spender, and Impact
So-
are having a heart attack.
let me just ask this. So, Tori, you told me last room about those groups. Could you, by any chance, have Spin send me the link to that group so I can like go into that group and try and see if I can get in there and buy transfer stuff?
Yeah.
Because
I
right
can-
now I
can
have the
send the link
suspicion
and
that
send it to you.
if they're selling this type of stuff, basically, now of course they're not going to be obviously selling an Armada Unicron, but there might be a chance I can try and get combiners. Because right now, since I'm trying to get Devastator, since I have the first limb of Defensor here, I'm trying to start to get the other character so I can then have Menasor here have at least a challenge. So I'm right now trying to get other characters so I can complete the combiners and make my G1 collection.
I'd be more than happy to. They it's pretty amazing. That group, what is that? Toy Collectors for Life, I think it is. The guys that run that group are way up in the Northeast. They went to California to pick up some $30,000 storage area that was literally jam-packed, box after box after box after box of different generations of Transformers.
Wow.
Jesus.
And,
That's crazy.
and a lot of the G1, well, I mean, a lot of the stuff's in box, but they have a lot of G1 and G2 stuff on card and in box.
Wow.
Dang.
As a collection, it's probably the most impressive I've ever seen.
Oh, to go off this, so, call me crazy or not, but I enjoy watching all those, like, the Vine shows, basically. But, in one of these, episodes, I think it's Pawn Stars. In Pawn Stars, they actually, they had walked into this guy's collection. This was a G1 Transformers collection.
Right.
That, for whoever has seen that, that is insane.
The guy that was trying to sell it to him, they didn't buy it, but the
Yeah,
guy
I
was
know, I
trying to
saw
sell
that.
it to him. He was spot on with his price, actually. You know,
Oh, okay.
yeah, he was spot on with his price. Now he didn't understand, like most people don't, when they're selling to a pawn shop, they got to sell it for half or
They
less.
got to make a profit.
Yeah, so they
have
can make
to
a
make
profit.
a profit. And right there, if they just bought it, they would have made a huge profit, most likely.
No,
Just because-
No, they
because
wouldn't have.
e-
They were
eBay
buying
fees
it for
are
cost.
expensive. Yeah. And eBay fees are expensive, and paying somebody to sit there and list that stuff on eBay and babysit the listings and send stuff out, that's all costing money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand why
This
they
is
didn't get
true.
it. It was an impressive collection, don't get me wrong, but there were a lot of copies in there.
Yeah, a lot. God, you had a row of Optimus Primes.
Metroplexes, and he had 2 Fortress Maximuses, a few Tripticons, a few of the combiners. Like, seriously.
So, Spin, I sent you another link to another pre-order. It's another one of the dramatic captures.
Oh, the dramatic capture set.
Well, I don't see it.
It should be the last one that I sent you.
Let's see. Oh, there we go.
I am 200%. I wish it was not coming in March. I would buy that thing in a heartbeat if it was coming out sooner or later. But, like, I'm going to be buying that strictly for the reflector set, and not to mention, even though I don't have a Skywalker Thundercracker, I'll take it, the Thundercracker at least.
They missed something here, though. If you go through all, this is great. I'm getting this. I just pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
I'm getting this because this reflector set has all the extra pieces for the
It's missing the Frenzy, Crimzeek.
Yeah, it's what it makes it look like an old film camera because as is, it looks more like, I mean, it can pass as a digital SLR camera, but definitely looks more like a old film camera with those
But they
extra
missed out on
bits.
something because in the forget what box it was that came with roller and
Oh, you're referring to the camera piece.
yes. So you see, I have that piece, and I have my Thundercracker with the camera, with
Oh,
reflector transformed in his hand.
okay.
So they have the mold. Why wasn't he included in that?
Interesting.
I
Why
was
was
actually
this
gonna
little
say
piece
that.
Hasbro being
not
Hasbro.
included in that?
Well, is it Hasbro that's producing it? I thought it was Takara.
Yeah, it's a Takara Tomy release, yeah.
That's why they overlooked that detail.
They just
And,
don't
and he
care.
pulled the original reflector.
That's the only one that matters. Now, Magnus, I got a question for you. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it.
Hang on, hang on. You're not the only cool kid on the block.
What?
Please, I'm Skyborg.
Oh, come on.
And then I have the upgraded.
Yeah,
Hang
was
on.
that the
This whole shelf. See, I used to be a
Toy Colors
photographer,
release?
nut. So every camera set that they came out with is
Wait, is there another
on
one?
this shelf right above. Right, hang on, we're not done. Wait, there's more. But wait,
Let me guess.
there's
Mr.
more.
Magnus is giving
There's
impact or a
another.
stroke. At age
How
13.
many do you have, Magnus?
I have the original. I have two of these
Deep
that are still in the
breaths
box, and then
impactor.
1, 2,
Breathe in,
3,
breathe
4 of
out.
them on the shelf.
Now, Magnus, I have a question about.
And then I have a full set of both forms of reflector
There's
or
more.
refractor. I have 3 of each in the box over there on the shelf. And there's the Crimsy that comes with that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the just because. So as a just to actually now mention this, so in previous years I've been focusing mainly on my Autobots. I believe it is now time I'm switching to my Decepticon stuff, and I'm going to be going for either Prime stuff and G1. And I'm not referring to original G1. I'm just referring to G1 Transformer stuff in general. And I'm pretty sure to end off the entire year for next year, that will be most likely my final purchase of G1 Decepticon stuff, aka the 4-pack.
Cool. Now we're about to end this stream.
Bring up TF Marauder's last comment.
Yes. So actually, well, just before I get to his comment, Mario was asking about the updates. So we are going to get through the updates in TeleTraan 2, so jump back in. But he also said, back in the 80s when the G1 Transformers were being sold, I got the original G1 Metroplex. And TF Marauders, welcome. Oh yes, TF Marauders says, what up, gents? And he's saying, digging the shirt, Magnus, save some ladies for the rest of us.
This shirt has a story that has to be told in the next section. So tune in for
Okay.
TeleTraan 2, and you'll find out why I left this on, so that when I tell the story about the convention this weekend, you'll understand.
Nice.
If you tell me a Cessna 180 crashed in the middle of the convention, I'm probably going to believe you. I'm just letting you know.
I would like to ask one thing. Can I hear one of the new stuff, one of the new things that's happening for the channel? Because I am not most likely going to be able to be at TeleTraan 2.
Well, one of the things, we have Big Angry Trev that's going to be with us on July 6th, but we also have TFCon Toronto that we're going to be doing July 12th and 13th, which we're also going to be introducing a few new things on the channel. So I don't want to reveal that as yet. But then we're also going to have a contest. So we're also going to get in a bit more details of that in TeleTraan 2. But those are some of the details that we have so far that we're working in the
I'm
background.
excited for this contest idea I'm hearing.
And merchandise. So, and there's also going to be some more merchandise, but waiting for
Yes,
that
XL,
to come
large,
in.
well, extra large.
And Primetime, Stephen Joyce, welcome Primetime, and also join us over in TeleTraan 2 in a couple minutes, and like and subscribe. Says, what's up? I stopped collecting 2 years ago with 500 figures, and I am starting again and just got HasLab Deathsaurus.
That's a little old.
Now I'd say Steven, jump over in TeleTraan 2 after and tell us why you stopped collecting at 500 figures. If you just
Family.
completed your lines, or if that was all you needed.
For me, I'm gonna most likely stop collecting at maybe 700.
You know that's a lie.
Or maybe I won't stop collecting, but if anything, the
I'll
only
take
reason
things
why-
that'll never happen for 500, Alex.
But let me just say this: if I am
you'll
to
just
stop collecting,
start
the
collecting
only reasons
something
why I'm
else for
going
a
to
bit.
say this right now is because it's either because I need food, laundry
Yeah,
detergent,
that's important.
house,
Lesser
money,
important.
lift
That is
jumper
important.
vehicle. Like that's all I'm pretty much gonna need for if I'm going to stop collecting. And besides, I could sell some of these guys and make maybe a lot of money.
We'll see what happens. And so on that note, is end the
You
stream.
still got 4 more years until you're a legal adult and your parents need to kick your butt out. So enjoy it while you can.
There you go. So let me say to all our one, and
Credit card.
join us over in TeleTraan 2.
Children of Primus does not endorse using your mom's credit card.
Oh God. Oh God.
We now return you to the Children of Primus.